There is a map of consciousness that Jesus taught his inner circle. It was not the parables he shared with the masses on the hillsides. It was not the moral teachings he gave to the public. It was a precise, technical hierarchy of spiritual development, a ladder of ascension, that explains exactly where every soul stands on the journey from material imprisonment to divine liberation. 7 levels, 7 stages of awakening, 7 frequencies of consciousness. Most of humanity lives unconsciously at levels 1 and 2, the sleepers. The religious masses reach level 3 and believe they have arrived at the destination. But the chosen ones, the pneumatics, the spirit carriers, are being called to ascend beyond religion, beyond morality, beyond belief itself. And here is what the Archons, the invisible rulers of this matrix, don't want you to know. They can harvest souls at levels 1 through 5 with relative ease. But at level 6, you become difficult to farm. And at level 7, you become completely ungovernable. A soul at level 7 is a glitch in the simulation. They can no longer be controlled, manipulated, or kept cycling through the reincarnation trap. This is why the Archons fear level 7 consciousness more than anything. Because the level 7 is not a place in the sky. It is the exit protocol. Tonight, we will declassify the 7 levels of consciousness that Jesus taught in the secret Gnostic Gospels. We will show you the characteristics of each level so you can identify exactly where you are. And we will explain why reaching level 7 is the most important spiritual achievement of your entire existence. More important than heaven. More important than salvation, because level 7 is the only frequency that unlocks the prison door. To understand the ladder, you must first understand the farm. The Gnostics taught that this material world is a closed system designed to harvest energy. The entities that manage this system are led by the demiurge, feed on low-frequency emotional energy. Fear, desire, guilt, tribalism, and blind obedience. As long as a soul remains in the lower levels of consciousness, it generates this energy automatically. It reacts. It judges. It fears. It fights. It fights. It creates a feast for the rulers. Jesus did not come to fix the farm. He came to hand us the ladder to climb out of it. The canonical church removed this teaching because it threatens their power structure. The church wants you at level 3, religious obedience. But the Gnostic Jesus wants you at level 7, monadic, unio ene. The journey up these 7 steps is the journey from being a battery to being a creator. Let's climb the ladder. Level 1, material consciousness. The sleeper's level 1 is the basement of the soul, pure materialism. In Gnostic terms, these are the Hylics, matter people. These souls are completely identified with the physical body, the 5 senses, and the material world. They believe that physical reality is the only reality. Characteristics, no spiritual awareness. They mock anything that cannot be measured or touched. Reactive existence, driven entirely by instinct, appetite, and survival. Sex, food, money, status, NP, psi-like behavior, scripted responses, predictable patterns. They download their opinions from the news and their self-worth from their bank account. Archon status, preferred food source. Harvest efficiency, 95%. The Archons love level 1. These souls generate massive amounts of fear and desire with 0 resistance. They live, work, consume, and die, never knowing they were batteries. Jesus spoke of level 1 when he said, "Do not cast your pearls before swine." He was not being cruel. He was being technical. You cannot teach quantum physics to a toddler. You cannot teach gnosis to a Hylic. Level 2, awakening consciousness. The seeker's level 2 is the stirring in the sleep. The nightmare begins to crack. The soul begins to suspect the official narrative is a lie. They start asking questions. They sense something beyond the physical. Characteristics. The glitch. Attraction to conspiracy theories, alternative history, and the paranormal. Dissatisfaction. A deep, gnawing sense that something is wrong with the world. Confusion. They consume spiritual content voraciously, but struggle to integrate it. They have 1 foot in the matrix and 1 foot out. Archon status, unstable food source. Harvest efficiency, 70%. The Archons dislike level 2 because the soul is asking questions, but they can still control them through confusion and fear. They flood level 2 seekers with doom porn, endless information about how bad the world is, to keep them in a state of paralyzed anxiety. Level 3, religious consciousness. They're believers. Level 3 is the great trap. The soul, tired of the confusion of level 2, finds a framework. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, New Age, and clings to it for safety. This is the level of the psychic soul people. Characteristics. External authority. They believe God is out there. They need a priest, a book, or a guru to mediate their connection. Moral duality. Obsessed with good versus evil. Us versus them. Dependency. They pray like beggars asking a king for scraps. Archon status. Managed food source. Harvest efficiency. 50%. The Archons designed level 3. They created institutional religion to harvest the energy of guilt, shame, and tribalism. A soul at level 3 is good, but they are still a sheep. And sheep are eventually eaten. Jesus spoke to level 3 when he gave the Sermon on the Mount, basic moral instructions to prepare the vessel, but he never intended for us to stay there. Level 4. Mystical consciousness. The experiencer's level 4 is the breaking of the shell. The soul moves from belief to experience. They are no longer satisfied with secondhand stories about God. They want to taste the divine for themselves. Characteristics direct. Gnosis visions, synchronicities, intuitive downloads. Inner authority. They stop asking, "What does the church say?" and start asking, "What does the Spirit say?" The dark night, often accompanied by a collapse of the old life. Friends fall away. Jobs end. The ego begins to panic. Archon status threat detected. Harvest efficiency, 30%. The Archons begin to panic here. Level 4 souls are harder to program. They are becoming sovereign. This is where the Archons send distractions, spiritual glamour. False teachers and ego traps to lure them back to level 3. Level 5. Unity consciousness. The awakened level 5 is the realization of oneness. The subject-object split dissolves. The soul realizes, I am not separate from God. I am an expression of God. Characteristics. I am the realization of the divine name within. Non-judgment. Compassion arises naturally, not as a rule to be followed, but as a byproduct of seeing the self in others. Ego dissolution. The ego is seen as a tool, not the master. Archon status active target. Harvest efficiency, 10%. The Archons actively attack level 5 souls. They send exhaustion, financial trouble, and Agent Smith characters to disrupt them. Why? Because a level 5 soul acts like a virus in the Matrix. Their frequency raises the vibration of everyone around them. They are dangerous. Level 6 is the consciousness of the visitor. The soul is in the world, but not of it. They have completed the lessons of the dualistic realm. They are essentially finished with the school of earth. Characteristics, the witness, complete inner peace, regardless of external chaos. They observe the drama without participating in it. No fear of death. They know death is just a door. Service. They live to help others ascend, without personal agenda or need for recognition. Archon status, ungovernable. Harvest efficiency, 0%. Jesus embodied this after the resurrection. He walked through walls. He appeared and disappeared. He had overcome the world. A level 6 soul cannot be baited by fear or desire. They are transparent to the Matrix. The Archons look for a hook, but there is nothing left to grab. Level 7 is not a state of being. It is the end of being as we know it. It is union with the monad. The drop falls back into the ocean. Characteristics. Dissolution. The separate self ceases to exist. The exit. The end of the incarnation cycle. No more rebirth. No more karma. The pleroma, return to the fullness of the divine. Pure consciousness. Knowing everything, being everywhere. Level 7 is the goal. This is what Jesus meant when he said, No one comes to the Father except through me. He wasn't talking about a religion. He was talking about a frequency. The Christ frequency is the elevator to level 7. The Archons cannot enter level 7. They cannot perceive it. It burns them like fire, burns paper. A soul at level 7 has exited the prison permanently. They have graduated from the simulation. The Archons have a strategy for every level. At level 1 they use entertainment and addiction. At level 3, they use religion and guilt. At level 4, they use confusion and spiritual pride. But their greatest fear is that you will realize there is a level 7. They want you to believe that level 3, heaven, is the end. They want you to stay in the afterlife system, waiting for a judgment that never ends, so they can recycle you back into a body. Read the map again. Be honest with yourself. Where are you? Most of you watching this are likely at level 4 or 5. You have left the religion of the map. You have tasted the mystic truth. But you are stuck. The Archons want you to plateau. They want you to become a spiritual ego, trapped in the pride of thinking you are awake. That is the final trap. To reach level 7, you must be willing to let go of everything. You must let go of your identity, your history, your nito be right, your nito save the world. You must focus entirely on the return. You must practice the exit every day. You did not come here to be a good person. You came here to be a fugitive. You came here to learn the layout of the prison so you could escape it and show others the door. Jesus left the map. Level 1 is the sleep. Level 3 is the dream. Level 7 is the awakening. The Archons are terrified right now because they see your light getting brighter. They know you are close to the threshold. Don't stop at level 5. Don't get distracted by the psychic powers or the spiritual pride. Keep climbing, the monad is waiting, and once you reach level 7, you never have to come back. If you are ready to graduate, if you are done with the cycle, comment below. I am rising. Signal to the universe that you are climbing the ladder. See you at the top.